Hey everyone, I'm Roxanne and welcome to Green Glow Gourmet, where healthy food is simple, satisfying, and tastes amazing. For today's recipe, we are making a sweet noodle kugel. So kugel is a traditional Jewish noodle casserole dish, and I'm going to give you the recipe. Let's get cooking. So it calls for 8 ounces of wide whole grain noodles. And I used the ribbon noodles. You do want to cook those first. Then it's 12 ounces of firm tofu, which I have right here. I buy my tofu at Costco. They have the best deal. What I do is I put them in the freezer, and then right before I'm ready to use them, I will take it out. I'll put it in the refrigerator overnight. It thaws out. The next day, I drain the liquid. I find that to be the easiest way. So there's a little tip for you. It also calls for a half a cup of date syrup. I use the Date Lady date syrup. You can find it in some stores. You can find it, I believe, in some Walmarts. I get it online. It also calls for a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I used the vanilla bean powder, and I bought the vanilla beans and then I scraped the vanilla out, which I think from now on I am just going to buy the vanilla in the bag. It's organic, Madagascar vanilla. I get it on Amazon. It's so much easier. If you know a tip or trick to share with me on getting the vanilla out of the bean, I found it a little difficult, but I have it, so I'm going to use it. I don't want to put it to waste. But it's fresh. It's going to be delicious. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 3/4 teaspoons of ground cardamom, 3/4 teaspoons ground ginger, 1 cup of raisins, 3 apples cubed. I have an envy apple and a green apple. You can use whatever you like. 1/4 cup of applesauce and 1 tablespoon of freshly squeezed lemon juice. I am leaving the lemon juice out, but feel free to add that if you like. So I already preheated my oven to 425. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tofu, the date syrup, the vanilla, the cinnamon, the cardamom, and the ginger, and I'm going to blend it in my NutriBullet until smooth. So I have everything in my NutriBullet. We are now going to blend it. I do have a Vitamix, which I love, but because this is a smaller recipe, instead of taking out my big Vitamix, I'm using the NutriBullet. So we are going to blend this up. So I mixed everything up. You can also use a food processor. I did find that it was a little powdery, so I added a little bit of water and then blended it again, and it's a very good consistency. Always add a little at a time. Don't overdo it, or you can make it too liquidy and ruin the whole dish. So I already cooked my noodles. I cooked them to al dente because they're going to cook more when you bake the rest of this dish in the oven. Now I'm going to add my noodles to the bowl. And I made more noodles than I needed because I will do other things with these noodles. And I figured while I was cooking, I will go ahead and make more. So I have leftovers. I might use all of these actually. I have a big enough dish. We're going to use a 9 by 13 baking dish also. So I have my noodles in here in the bowl. I'm going to mix the rest of the ingredients. I'm going to put in the applesauce, the raisins, the apples, and I just chopped these apples. This chopper, I'm sure a lot of you have seen this online. It makes it very easy. You can use your hands, you can use gloves, use whatever you feel like using. My hands are clean. I wash them before I start cooking. But if you do have food grade gloves and you'd like to use those, by all means do that. I find for me it's easier just to use my hands. I can break up the raisins easier. And then I am going to mix this, and then I am going to pour the mixture right on top of it. And I'm just using a silicone spatula to get it out. I find it's easier to get everything out of this little blender. If anybody has the NutriBullet, let me know what you think. I just don't feel like they last as long as some other appliances. I'm thinking not that I need anything because I do have the Vitamix, which to me is the best of the best, in my opinion. But I am thinking for smaller jobs, sometimes I don't want to use my big Vitamix. And I was wondering if anybody has the small Ninja blender. I've heard a lot of different things about that as well. So maybe, we'll see. Not that I need another appliance at all in this house. I have so many now, I don't even have enough room. It's really crazy. But I do use everything, so I guess that doesn't make it bad. Thinking about adding more plants into your diet, I'm happy to schedule a call with you, and I can help you take small steps to moving in that direction. If you know someone who is trying to eat healthier, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. You can comment below if you have any questions. I answer all of your questions and your comments. And every week I come to you with a new recipe. All right, I am going to show you what this looks like in 1 minute. You want to make sure you have the mixture over all of your noodles. You want to make sure everything is evenly distributed. So you have your apples, you have your raisins, you don't want any clumps. The good thing with gloves is it's not messy. So you can just take your gloves off and keep going. So I have to wash my hands and I will be right back. Okay, so now we are going to take our baking dish and I'm going to use parchment paper. And a way to get parchment paper in here, a little trick if you don't know, is you crumple it up. And then when you open it, it fits right in. It's easy. Another little trick for you. We're going to take our mixture now. We're going to pour it in. This is very easy. It also, with the parchment paper, it helps it from sticking and it also makes cleaning your dish much easier. We're gonna spread this out and we are gonna put this in the oven. We're baking it, like I said, on 425 for 25 minutes. Has a really good smell, so I know it's gonna have a delicious taste. Just make sure everything, all your noodles on top, have mixture on top so your noodles do not burn. Look how delicious that looks. All right, we're gonna put this in the oven. We're gonna bake it for 25 minutes and we'll be back and have a taste. Okay, so we baked it for 25 minutes in the oven. I let it cool and I guarantee when you put it, once you let it cool and you put it in the refrigerator overnight, the next day it's going to be even better. But I let it cool, and when you cut it, you just want to make sure, since there's parchment paper on the bottom, you want to make sure that when you're slicing it up and you're serving it, that you don't get any parchment paper on the plate to give to yourself or to your guest. So we are going to try a bite. I want to get everything in there, the noodles, the apples, the raisins. This is delicious. And the longer you let it cool, all those flavors are going to absorb in. I taste everything. The cinnamon, the cardamom, the ginger, they all blend perfectly together. The apples and raisins. Please give this recipe a try. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you make any changes. And here's to a healthier you. I'll see you next week.